Because residents in Kathmandu are now under curfew as the city reels from days of violent clashes and widespread arson. Soldiers have been deployed to patrol the streets in a bid to restore calm. The death toll has risen to 25 people, including 19 killed on Monday when police used tear gas and rubber bullets against youth-led demonstrations. Well, the turmoil has forced Prime Minister Sharma Oli to resign. Protesters are demanding action against corruption and economic inequality. A controversial social media ban has now also sparked the latest outrage, but it has been reversed. Eliza Herbert has the very latest.
Nepal remains under curfew. Troops are patrolling the streets, threatening to crack down without hesitation on any new demonstrations or acts of vandalism. Burnt-out cars and buildings remain, serving as a reminder of the public's anger, which has not completely subsided despite Tuesday's resignation of Prime Minister Sharma Oli.
They ruled for several years. They deceived the poor and spent citizens' money for their own profit.
Despite the damage, it's a historic revolution that's awakened me and my compatriots. Everything will change with the fall of the government. From now on, citizens will get their fair share.
The Gen Z protest movement began in response to a social media ban, nepotism and corruption among the elite. It was billed as peaceful but quickly turned deadly when on Monday police officers opened fire on demonstrators. In turn, the protest grew increasingly violent, and by Tuesday, government buildings and politicians' homes had been set alight. Several figures are being considered to replace the outgoing Prime Minister until elections are held, including former Supreme Court President Sushila Kaki, who protest leaders said Wednesday is their preferred candidate.
This is only an interim government because our country is faced with so many threats. We can't let an army rule, and we need to protect democracy.
Authorities say that more than 13,500 prisoners took advantage of the political instability to escape from prison. A volatile situation which also has China concerned and hoping its neighbour can restore order and national stability as soon as possible.
Well, let's bring in Chandra Dev Bhatta, who is a political scientist. He joins us now from Kathmandu by phone. Chandra, we have soldiers on the streets of Kathmandu, thousands of protesters also. What have the last few days been like for you in the city?
The last few days have been really chaotic for Nepal. Almost more than 30 persons have already lost their life, and the city is under curfew. There are lots of youths in the streets. The major administrative buildings have been burnt, and a lot of the top political leaders have been thrashed out, and they have been handed over to the security officials by the people from the Generation Z. It's really chaotic. We really don't know how things will unfold in the days to come, but as of today, the Gen Z have proposed the former Chief Justice Sushila Karki as their favorite candidate for the Prime Minister. But there are some legal issues as well, constitutional issues as well with regard to her appointment as the Prime Minister, because we still have got a Parliament in place, and we cannot. The Constitution does not allow anybody to become a Prime Minister outside of the constitutional framework. So there are some legal hurdles on it, but the President will have to be. I think President can come up with certain solutions along with the Nepal Army now, who is playing a crucial role in forming the next government in Kathmandu. But it looks very, very uncertain how the days will unfold. The protesters are also divided along different lines, and their protest, in fact, has been hijacked by the interest group, different types of interest group. There were political leaders as well in the protest. There were people from the Maoist party. There were pro-monarchist people as well. So different actors ultimately have hijacked the protest initiated initially by the young people of Nepal.
Well, one of their key grievances among the protesters is corruption. They say that there's a lot of corruption going on. There's this trend, Nepo baby, that's gone viral on social media, accusing government ministers of using taxpayers' monies to fund a lavish lifestyle for their children. Is there any truth in that?
In fact, that has been going for a long period of time. In fact, Nepal has witnessed a series of political instabilities over the period of time. If you remember last year, one of the famous newspapers from France itself declared Nepal as a champion of political instability. On top of the instability, there has been huge corruptions, and those, who are closely affiliated with political parties have been reaping the benefits in one way or the others, but youth at large will have to, they did not have any opportunities within the countries. If you look at almost 2,500 plus youth have been leaving the country for their livelihood outside. So this has been building on for a long period of time, but the current problem arose when Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli put ban on social media, and they, in fact, that irritated youths, and they came out in the street. So their initial demand was to end the corruptions, the rampant corruption which has been going on country for decades, and they were also they also wanted bans to be lifted on the social media. Rather than doing that, Prime Minister chose to use force, and that derailed the situation in Kathmandu and led to the violence of the scale which has never been witnessed in the past.
Oh, Sandra, I did want to ask you about that ban on social media. Why did the government put that in place in the first place?
I think the government was quite worried about its own work. The popularity of the government was declining day by day, but government still wanted to convey the message that it is doing the work. And there are some political reasons as well. The CP and UML party, who was in power, was having its conventions, and there were some problems within the party which they did not really, they wanted to put some sort of ban on their own cadres as well. So they introduced this ban on social media primarily for their own interest, and on top of that, they basically wanted to, suppress the voice of the people as well. Apart from that, they have said that the social media companies like Facebook and X are required to register in Nepal as per the law of the land, but they were not doing it, and this was also the verdict given by the Supreme Court of Nepal that any company who is operating in Nepal will have to be registered with the concerned authorities of the government, but there were no proper laws to do that. That's why they were reluctant to register as well. The officials of the X said that we don't want to register in a country where corruption is rampant. So there were multiple factors working together.
Sandra, it was really great to get those explanations from you. Thank you so much for joining us on the programme today on Prime News Paris. Thank you.